Okay. Try to get everything situated here. Oh shit! I knew I forgot something. Fuck. Highway. No, I didn't mean to do that like that. Okay. 1 second here. It's so hard to see over this fucking big ass monitor of mine. Change. There we go. Now that's all correct over on YouTube as well. Okay. Alright, finish my dab hit and then get started into this. At least for right now. And the church warden. That way. Okay, there we go. I gotta clear off my desk a bit here. I got a little cluttered here. So I wasn't using a laptop, so I had a bunch of stuff sitting on top of it. So I wanted to do this quest here really quick because I think it's just a talking quest, and I need to make sure we have the audio sounding good because it hasn't been seeming like it's all that accurately like showing up on my mixer there.
Going for a swim?
Goodness, no. Though I'm beginning to think I really should learn how to swim. Can't very well be liaison to the mer people if I don't know how to swim.
Are you fucking kidding me?
People.
Well, not technically, no. At least not yet. The position doesn't actually exist at the moment, but I have a plan to change that. I'm Nerida, by the way. Nerida Roberts. We didn't officially meet, but we dueled in the Cross Swans Club.
Yes, of course. Good to see you again.
And you.
You seem quite interested in mer people.
I am. And they're as misunderstood and disregarded by wizard kind as goblins and centaurs are. I feel that if goblins and centaurs have liaison officers at the ministry, then the mer people should have one too.
That is actually
I'm
admirable.
impressed. I think reaching out to the mer people is a grand idea.
You do? Oh, thank you. Of course I haven't exactly done anything just yet. I presented them with a gift a few weeks ago, and they wanted to leave me one as well, in one of their caves. Reciprocity and an offer to visit. I tried telling them I couldn't swim, but I'm afraid that bit got lost in translation. Mermish really is tricky.
Oh, so we can offer to help her out. Okay. Not a problem. Okay. Have to swab out my Peterson pipe too.
What do you imagine a liaison to the Mer people would do?
Oh, so many things. I want to know everything I can about
Yes, I'm
them.
so glad I grabbed some Q-tips for
After I'm
that
off to
because I
swimming,
knew it needed to be
take my
swabbed
Merlish,
out.
of course. And I'd share with them anything they wanted to know about wizard kind. My hope is that by understanding each other better, both of our societies could grow.
That is actually very honorable.
How has wizard kind fallen short in its treatment of Mer people?
Well, we've consistently deigned Mer people as being beneath us despite the many similarities between our cultures. One can hardly blame them for declining being status by the Ministry years ago. Who are we to classify those of such beauty and intelligence?
What is it about the Mer people that interests you so much?
I can't begin to tell you how brilliant they are. I mean, rumor is that tales about them have infiltrated even the Muggle world. The oldest known Mer people, Sirens, come from Greece. And of course, Scotland has Selkies, and Ireland is home to Merrows.
Oh wow, so there's actually
I could
different
go on
versions.
for
Okay, that's
ages about
actually fucking cool.
their glorious underwater communities, domestication of sea life, their art and music. It's a
And I like how
truly
each one is from a
something to
different
study
part of
about
the
them.
world too.
Well, I can swim and could help you if you'd like.
You'd really do that? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. The last thing I want is for them to think I shunned their gift. Diplomacy is a delicate dance. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can dive down to their cave from just there in the water. I can't wait to hear about what you find. One day soon, I'll see for myself. I just know it.
Alright, I'm going to do that 1 second here. Just need to kind of clean out my pipe here. I've been trying to also get the church warden pipe to fucking stop kind of like having a very neutrality taste. I don't know how to explain this, but since it fell in the fucking cup of coffee, whatever I would smoke out of it just doesn't have a taste. It just doesn't even taste like tobacco. It's hard to describe. It has a faint coffee taste, but it doesn't really have much of a taste at all whenever I'm smoking anything out of my church warden for the last few days. So today was the first day that I actually was able to taste anything out of it, and I was using some of the Cult Blood Red Moon. So I'm dedicating the church warden for just all my Cult Blood Red Moon that I have, which I have 3 tins of this bad boy here. The other tins I got over here are going to be mixings of all these ones, but we are working on this tin of it. The other thing I'm also going to be smoking through it, though, is the other cherry that I have up here. So I put that in this other one, but I've marked it by coloring part of the top of this guy. I marked it with this, kind of like just doing that, and then I've also put a star on the back of the can, depending on which way I'm looking at it. So I know that this right here is actually the Cornell and Deal Dark Cherry Cavendish. And I have some more of this actually sitting in a smaller container, but that's in my backpack. That's like my to-go container. So I had these 2 cherries that I'm using only for my church warden. That is what I'm dedicating to those. I hadn't actually really dedicated pipes to doing anything like this, really, but I kind of just been like, you know what? I kind of need this one pipe to be dedicated to one thing, and that's going to be cherry tobacco. Because if I smoke it out of the, excuse me, out of these guys here, they will actually, especially this one here, it does tend to ghost really heavily on my author pipe, my Berosini, whenever I smoke any BRM through it, which is Blood Red Moon. So the chocolate and cherry really kind of like sit and linger on the pipe for probably close to 2 to 3 bowls, and it's just like, damn it, dude. Like, sometimes I don't want that taste on top of anything else, especially if like I'm smoking an English or something else like that. I don't want that aromatic on top of it. And this guy, the German Briar pipe, is mainly going to be used for either the Codger blends or my English blends. So like Hyde Park, Carter Hall, Prince Albert, and then the Consummate Gentleman, which I've had to add some of the Carter Hall to in order to hopefully tone down that lavender that was coming through. That was the only thing that Grok says is the only like actual good way to do it without fucking it up. Is either do Prince Albert or Carter Hall without adding something that's actually an aromatic, because neither one of these are actually an aromatic. Even though some people might classify the Carter Hall one, the bourbon and, or the cocoa and vanilla, all that, whatever the flavors you taste out of the Carter Hall, that's just the natural flavors of the mixtures that's in there. So, oh, okay, I see what she's saying now. I gotta go. Whee! I haven't played this game in a hot minute, chat, so I was like, you know what, I need to finish up this game before I put mods on, because I saw there was all these really cool fucking mods, and I was like, yo, that's dope. I was like, I'm totally down to check out some of those mods, but then I was like, you know,
Mer people really leave Narada an artifact.
oh, that's kind of cool. I feel like I've been in here too before. Come on, get up out of here. There we go.
Lumos. Now then, need you to come with me.
Oh, what the fuck? There's 3 of them. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, okay. Alright. I forget that's how you gotta do that. Okay. Two down, 1 left to go. That was really weird the way it's making that noise.
Lumos. What do we have in here then?
What the fuck one? Oh wait, no, Revelio's R. That's right. Okay, no. I was like, where the fuck is my secrets one again? I couldn't remember which one was Revelio, and then I had to remember it's like, oh wait, no, that's right. It has its own
Narada will be happy about this.
a Mermish artifact. Okay. That was just a quick and simple mission. All right, I like that. I think we got the audio at a good level here, chat. Let me know if it's too loud in certain areas, because I feel like it's like relatively quiet on the mixer there. Is what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's the chosen one. I actually just washed my hair with the chosen one. It was another reason why I was like, okay, you know what? Another thing I wanted to add to the Hogwarts thing too is because I was like, you know what, we actually, just was watching some of the Harry Potter movies again because it's Christmas time. You know, granted, yes, Christmas is past and all that stuff like that, but winter time, I don't know. It's always something that I like to do during this time of the year is watch those movies. And next I'm gonna watch all the Fantastic Beasts ones, because I ended up kept falling asleep through like a couple of the Harry Potter ones. I ended up rewatching some of them all over again today. But I washed with the extra brick that we had of this, the chosen one here. This is the obviously the Harry Potter one, and it is got a mixture of the normal ingredients: saponified oils, which is sustainable palm, coconut, olive, naturally derived fragrances, shea butter. Now this is where the main one that's coming in here is the jojoba seed oil, which most people, I don't know if you ever pronounce it jojoba, because I've seen some people say it some weird names, but it's the jojoba. It is jojoba, so that's how it's pronounced. The jojoba seed oil, butcher's broom powder, pumice, red iron oxide, and then the normal mica, kaolin clay, and then sea salt. So what I do like about these ones is that they have these cool little swirls in them. So I think this one's got a cool little swirl pattern on it as well. So I do like that. I will say I do wish the you know who, which I do like that that they do that instead of just calling it like the Voldemort brick or anything like that. It's called the you know who brick. I actually ended up just washing my arms with that. bergamot that comes through in here is really nice in the scent. The chosen one is like vanilla, birchwood, and citrus. This one is bergamot. It's something. Two other ones. I think it's like something woodsy and then plum or something like that. I want to say for the scent, because what it's got in here is saponified oils. Obviously, this is sustainable palm, coconut, olive, naturally derived fragrances, and shea butter. And then we got corpse flower extract, black volcanic sand, and then the mica, kaolin clay, and sea salt. This one says smells like ruthlessness, and this one says smells like bravery and determination. This one's heroic, fearless, honorable, just like a Squatchman should be. This one I love: sinister, cunning, malevolent, just like a Squatchman should be. I was like, okay, I don't know if that's actually how you should be, but I do like that. I do like that. The next one I'm going to be using up here soon. It's going to be the Skellington Suds. I definitely want to check that one out. And then the Oogie Boogie's Brew. These both smell so fucking good. So, but it was definitely a good thing to kind of wash up with. I really enjoyed the smell of it. So I was doing some of my autumn evening, but I'm not doing out of the tin here. This tin is going to be used a little bit sparingly, but I'm actually using some out of the bulk right now, because that I can always replace at any time. That I can always order online, or I can get it from the refuge at any time. So that's the big benefit of that. But the tins, I only have 2 unopened ones over here. We have 3 unopened of the Cold Blooded Moon, but that is definitely a cherry that I don't mind just kind of going through. Now, if I get down to one last tin, that one's going to be safe for a little bit. I'm going to order some more in, and we'll smoke other stuff until I get those other tins in. I do want to try to actually cellar one of them to see if it's going to get stronger in its taste. Hopefully it doesn't lose its taste by a couple months. I want to give it at least a couple months to see how it tastes. I was going to do that originally with the Consummate Gentleman. Now, that's going to be the case if this fucking Carter Hall mixing with the Consummate Gentleman by Ashton didn't fix up that little lavender taste that came through. If that's the case, that'd be great. So I think real quick, what I want to do is, what do I want to load? Do I want to load my Peterson? I think I kind of want to load the Peterson up. But I haven't smoked out the other 2 either yet today, so. Where did I put the other 2? Oh, up there, that's right. They're on top of the Paracini or. Let's see, if I smoke out of the church warden, I definitely have to be taking a break, but I definitely wanted to smoke some more chocolate cherry. Yeah, I'll do that in a little bit. I do have my vape finally fixed up and cleaned out. I put some fresh Royalty 2 in there. So we got that bad boy in there right now, chat, just to help kind of get through everything. It's nice for when I just want a couple of hits real quick. I don't want to just sit and smoke.
Your gift from the Mer people was exactly where they said it would be.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I was so worried I'd left it too long and they'd seen it as a slight. Our relationship with them is already so tenuous.
Then I'm glad we helped to foster some healthy diplomatic relations.
Merlin's blood. It's marvelous. I'm going to show it to everyone, including the ministry. Should I hand deliver it or send by owl?
I would hand deliver it, so they don't end up just taking it from you.
You may have just helped improve relations between wizard kind and mer people for decades to come. I can't wait to study this.
Nice. All right. So that's the one I'm doing. And I can't figure out this picture though. That's the thing, chat. I might have to Google it. Is it an inventory? Yeah. Quest items. I do believe it's over here, I think. Wait for it to load up so I can figure out with the Google. So I can actually see where we need to go here, chat, because I am so lost. Unless anybody knows where I need to go.
Explore in there.
Use Roland's map to follow his trail. Okay, so I'll type that in. And I gotta go take a piss really quick, chat. So I shall be right back. Oh, what the fuck is going on with my capture card? I really need to get a new capture card. I swear that poor fucking old thing is going on the fritz. Alright, chat. 1 second here. I had to adjust the capture card here. Okay. Because it kept breaking on the bottom of the screen here. So I was wondering if maybe, just maybe, if I plugged it into a different spot. Okay, there we go. If maybe that would fix that. So we're going to see if that worked. Because I think what it was that I had it plugged into the 3.0 spot and I need to plug it into 2.0. Because it is an older capture card, so it's nothing new. Quest. Um, oh, okay. I had to like restart the fucking audio, and I was like, "Where the fuck is my audio?" And then yeah, now the fucking device needs to be restarted too. Restart video device. Okay, I was like, come on. Come on, smooth out, smooth out. The gameplay on the capture looks a little chunky. I'm not sure why. Oh, yep. I was like, I just lost audio. See, plugging into that 2.0 spot, it keeps dropping like that. Okay, so we need to figure out what to do here. Let me try this. And now I'm causing a bunch of other shit to happen. Okay, okay. Okay. Somehow Rumble and all that stay connected, but YouTube and fucking Kick was like, nope, could not stay connected. It literally dropped connection to that because whatever I had to do on the fucking actual capture device there, it wasn't want to do. See, that's what I mean. Why does it look so low over there on the mixer? Okay. Okay, trying to figure out a good spot here. I think. All right, trying to. Okay, so we can go maybe a little bit. See, that's still too loud. Okay, I think. Okay, I think that might fix some of that too as well. You know, that doesn't make that smoother over there. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't change that. Okay, what do I do? Windowed. And then we do that. See, I got smooth as shit on my side, but on the capturing, I'm seeing a little lag, a little stutter. I don't know why it's doing that. The only thing I could think of would be to maybe put that in the 1270 by 720.
Looks rather dark in there. Never stopped me before.
Why does that look so much worse now with that? Let's put it to 0 and see what happens. Yeah, all of a sudden it's not as blurry. There. Try to do any of these little things and try to help it on the fucking capture card here for capturing the game, because on my end right here, smooth as the devil. The only thing I could think of would be to try NDI, but I don't know if that would be through Meld. I don't know if it would have anything like that. I'd probably have to do that through OBS instead. Could also be this cord, I'm thinking too in my head. I'm trying to think of any possibilities of what could it be and what I can do to maybe adjust this in order to fix this issue we were having with this capture card. Because it's not like it's broken or anything like that. It's just an old capture card. And I hate that, like, again, that planned obsolescence shit. It's like, oh, you know, it's old, so, you know, it's going to go to shit there. So it's like, oh, yeah, totally. But, 1280. That's what it is. Okay. So doing what I was doing there doesn't actually make it the 1270 or 1280 by 720. This is kind of weird and fucking annoying. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, wow, yeah, look at the smoothness. Okay, wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Was that option available at 1080p, or was it only doing... I will be damned. Okay, so the FPS was set for like 59.6 for some reason, which was like a really oddball fucking thing for it to do. But then as soon as I went in there and just set this for 1080p 60, all of a sudden now look at that. Look at the smoothness of that. So much better. I do think that it maybe still stays a little bit smoother if I'm on the video resolution. I'm just going to drop it back down to 1280 by 720. Just because I think it looks a little bit smoother. I don't have as much of a hiccup going on. Yeah, we're good on that. Okay. So, now... Coral runes. Okay, so I gotta find the coral runes. Which I'm pretty sure I got that on my fucking map. Where's it at, though? Literally right there. Oh, I don't have that flute. Oh, wow. That's the one place I don't have its flute point at. Okay, well, that's fine. Is it? No, is that 3? Okay, that's a dodge. Alt? No. Oh yeah, hold on, tab. 3, there we go. Now I can set a waypoint over there. There we go. I hate when I'm trying to remember how it's like highlighted like that to figure out which way it is. Going for the mouse. There we go. Ah, fuck it. Might as well pop the balloons while we're here. We all float down here, Georgie. Boop. Boop. Oh, wait. How do I lower myself down? Okay, control. I was like, how do I lower myself down again? Have I not done this spot over here? What? I thought I've done all these. Um, there we go.
Incendio.
Okay, so no, I have done this over here. So what the fuck? How did I not get this damn thing over here? I'm just kind of baffled at that, chat. Okay. Bam! That was fucking skill, motherfucker.
What's that? Incendio.
Ow.
Glacius. Arresto momentum. Confringo.
Wait, is it E? No, F, yeah.
Compulso. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Glacius. Rependo. Levioso.
Woo! Okay. That's dodge. Is there not a crouch button? Oh, there's gotta be a, there we go. There really isn't a, heals G, okay. Caps lock is fucking lock on. Why is that lock on? There we go. That'll actually make that a lot easier. Protego. Being Q. I'm making it 6. Seven. Okay, I think that should be good. It's just really there's no fucking crouch button though. Okay, so it's just gonna be a little weird. That's right. I have a. That's right. I forget about that.
This place has seen better days.
I heard some. Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, I heard something flapping. Wasn't sure it was gonna be something big and scary or what. Okay, really, jump over the damn roots, dude. Come on. You really can't climb that. You gotta be shitting me. Oh, he can climb that though. Nice. Okay. Ashra mosaic robe. Nine moonstones.
Oh, here's a pleasant surprise.
Do the mallow sweet.
Lumos. Arresto momentum. Levioso. Flupendo. Wingardium Leviosa. Incendio.
Oh, I think I'm looking for more of those. Okay. Um.
Incendio.
Okay, that's two. Oh, they go out if I leave that area. Fuck. Okay. Well, I was trying to find other ones. Some leech juice.
Incendio.
Okay, Confrigo is the one I want. Okay, I gotta make sure we find the other ones first before we do it. Because it is not giving me very long on it. Ashwinder eggs. There's one. I don't see any of the other ones over that way, so it's gotta be like this way. Oh, fuck.
Is Merlin trials
There we go. Fucking A, it was just 3. Good. We got it, chat.
Revelio.
Damn, Revelio can go far. Okay. The only one I really need is Bombarda and Transformation. Those are the last ones. I can't use those because those are the unforgivable curses. No, unless I do a mod. But I'm not doing mods until I beat the game. At least one time, chat.
What do we have here?
Semi leaving Loyalist Commander to the ground. Disarm an enemy. Keep 2 enemies airborne for 5 seconds. Okay.
I may have more luck higher up in the keep.
That's right. Oh, are you fucking... Okay, fuck off.
Arrest them. Get free.
Hold on, wait. I thought... 5 and 6. Oh, okay. So I actually want that to be 7. Yes, and this will be 8. Okay, that makes better sense. I was wondering why that just seemed weird. I was trying to do that there, chat. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I'm gonna save that talent point. Collections. Gear. Okay. All right.
Trouble's brewing and I'm without my friends. Revelio.
Ooh, laceration 3. Okay.
A ladder. That's what I need.
Any who oppose Ranrock will be eliminated.
Revelio.
This is 2 chests up there. Another chest there. Okay.
Oh, this day's gone on too long.
It's Totalis.
I love that. Oh, I love that. Just fucking totally paralyze their ass. Just walk up on them, chat.
Yes. Not a party to attend by myself.
Friggin' weld potions, which I'm good with that. Need all the healing I can get.
Revelio.
It is a pretty heavily fucking guard. Oh, there's a troll over there. Okay. Alright. Can I not fucking climb up on this thing?
Wizard will be spared.
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me. Revelio.
I'm trying to decide, should I just go about a chat and just kill all of them?
The wizards
What do you think?
No choice but to submit to us.
Oh, can I get this one up here like this? Ways. Did I really just get his ass without him getting to me, chat, like that? No way. That worked out way better than I thought that would have. So I'll take it. I'll take it. That was fucking loud. That was funny though.
I don't like the looks of that encampment.
Yeah, that works.
Revelio.
That's a big ass armored troll. I'm still getting used to playing the game here too, chat. So that's another reason why I'm like deciding whether or not I want to go on some of these attacks here. Fighter troll. Oh, okay, so that's what it's called, is a fighter troll. Why can I not? Okay, that's the ones I can't block. Fuck, I hit control instead of 6. What the fuck happened to my capture card? In the middle of that fight, chat, it just fucking broke. In the middle of that. That's what I mean. I don't get what the fuck is going on with this capture card, dude. I mean, it is really hot and all, but it's not much I can do about that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really do much about its heat in that regard. But I can try to keep it cooler by maybe moving it back there a bit. I mean, I can hear the audio come back. Okay, so there's the audio. Fuck. Fuck. Nice. Okay. I defeated the 5 out of 5 trolls there. Challenge complete. I tripped over the troll bogies. Nice. Chest. Cedar rivet gloves.
Glad I was never locked up here.
What the fuck? Why give me the ability to do that then? Ugh, so dumb.
Revelio.
Yeah, so you can't like grab onto the vines up there, so I don't know why the fuck again. Shortcut.
This looks like trouble.
Nice. Oh, he just evaporated the little shit. Oh, because there was an exploding barrel. That shit got him in one hit. Yeah, fuck you, bro. Okay, chest is over here. Ancient magic focus. Damn. Okay, my dude. Why are we attacking so fucking hard? Like, I feel like we are somehow doing way more damage than we should. Oh.
Do a prison make sometimes.
Okay. We just went through this like a fucking steamroller.
Goodness. Not a party to attend by myself.
As we've already destroyed everybody here, chat. I love that he says that now. Like, come on, really? We're saying that now? Yeah, you know, we've already just completely, you know, fucked every damn one up here. Okay. Coral runes.
What will we find in here? Revelio.
Hmm. Hmm. I think that's it too. So.
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on. Revelio. Alohomora.
There we go.
You only have Radrock to blame.
Quidditch goggles. No, no secret pathways that way. I literally expected there to be like some fucking way to get up there.
Revelio.
Aha, I'm just a fucking moron. There we go. There we go. There we go, Governor. Boom. Okay, I did Accio, not fucking Guardian Leviosa. I don't know why it does that instantly. That was really fucking stupid. Like, I'm actually not a fan that it does that a bit there, Chad. That's kind of a nuisance there.
Revelio.
Chest all by itself. Identified hand item. Ooh.
Revelio.
Okay, so we got quite a bit to go through here, Chad. It looks like it's a pretty big area. I actually kind of dig that. Kind of dig that. All right. Where we go too far, chat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, trust me, I get you on that one. Poor kiddo's sick over here. So she's having to blow her nose constantly there, chat, so that's what you're hearing in the background, this poor kid.
There we go. Hopefully this helps. If I just do it like this.
No, it's gonna stuff it up too much, kiddo. It'll actually make it so it won't drain past that area. Yep. I know.
Yeah.
I know, trust me. Just been loading it how it says in the Peterson paper here, chat. And quite honestly, this has been smoking as it should. So much better once you do it that way. You gotta do a half of a bowl load with one pinch, and you gotta cant it against the airflow. Once you do that, you do another third pinch. So you got 2/3, and the last one's just your final dusting pinch. You try to make the third of it to around the top. There we go. All right. There we go. Nice and packed down a bit. Such a good taste. Alright, let's look at our challenges here. What do we got? Combat, we got done here. A few trolls, nice. Okay, okay. Oh, we're Scott. Oh, this one. Greatly increased ancient magic meter fill rate. Okay, okay. I know what's this one here. Laceration 3, significantly increased damage with Defendo. Okay, okay. That was all we got from those? Yep. Okay. And then this. Yeah, it's just showing us the new troll. Okay, okay, that's good to know. Also, I like that they do this. I actually kind of forget about these little cutouts they have here, chat. What's up, kiddo? Yeah, I heard you yelling. What's up, Gimme Goo? Yeah, what's up, cat? Does it say that with all these guys? Okay, yeah. Okay, the pulse is a pretty good effective one with that. Okay, I like. Okay, so I do like how that gives me some breakdowns on all these characters too, chat. It does help. I'm trying to figure out which ones attack with what kind of things there. Spells here. Oh, okay, okay. So I kind of want to keep it though, just in case I need it for something else here. I don't know which one I want to go with their chat. Ooh. That's an interesting one. The problem is, though, from what I've gathered, is that legitimately you cannot get a bunch of them mastered. You're gonna have to pick and choose which ones you really want to go with. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be the really pain in the fucking ass thing. Hmm. Yeah, because I want the Bombarda skill, and I know we get that here soon, I do believe. We also got unidentified hand items, too. Legendary one at that. Funny enough, those are level 27 guys, and they're lower level. Here, we're smoking our pipe real quick. Might as well take a dab hit or two. Okay. Slow that down. Take our dab hit. Because we've been slowly smoking on the cadence of the pipes, we've been able to also not heat up the bowls too much, nor get the mouthful of fucking tobacco oil and everything like that as well too, which has been quite nice. So being more methodical with the smoking has allowed us to actually smoke it properly as it's supposed to be. Plus, it allows for the moisture to drop back down to the stem. It gotta clear itself out a little bit there. And I gotta say too, because one of the things that you see a lot in the reviews is that the last end of these bowls of the autumn evening will tend to be like kind of sour for a lot of people. And I've noticed that the reason why it's sour for most people is that they smoke it too fast, and then it starts to build up that fucking tobacco oil too much. And then you're getting mouthfuls and mouthfuls and mouthfuls of that oil, or it becomes too gurgly. It sours because the oil's dropping back down into that bowl. So if you're smoking out of something like this, with it takes the moisture, puts it into a different chamber than letting it sit in the actual chamber itself for the bowl. It's allowed me to keep the taste very, very smooth on the hit there. Let me just take that. Blow any moisture out that we can. There. And this way, any moisture that has been getting in this, a little bit easier to swab out. And it's actually nowhere near the amount that it would normally be if I was doing it like I had been doing, where I just been kind of, smoking way, way faster and harder than I should be out of the pipe. See, there we go. Got a bunch of the moisture with that swab. Get some of that outside stuff right there. Have another one. Dip it in. Swab around. There we go. Still nice and perfectly tasting, like as if it was just at the mid level of the bowl, not it's literally at the last third of the bowl. And it's kind of like, think of it as like a cigar in thirds, whereas usually most people only smoke a part of that last third. They don't smoke it all the way down because it's not their fingers and stuff. Unless you smoke it in a pipe, then you can smoke it all the way through. And what I'm noticing too is that there's still fresh tobacco still burning up in there, because every once in a while I'm getting like a pocket hit of like really fresh maple taste, and then I get that normal maple vanilla taste that's been like, okay, smoking for a little bit, and then it gets another pocket of it. So it's like, okay, it's the way it's canted is it's hitting those little pockets of tobacco there. Mm. And it keeps the aroma very pleasant too. Like I can smell that by just wafting the air. I can smell that pleasant maple vanilla smell still in the air, and it's just like, that's beautifully smelling. It's not getting ashy or anything like that, like it can if you are smoking too fast and you are letting it, not really cool down enough in between each hit, and then allowing it for the moisture to extract out of that smoke and just allow it to be a drier, cleaner smoke. Mm. Almost finished with this bowl here, chat. It is a lot more pleasant to smoke like this too, and it's more drier like that. Like I said, like the normal reviews that I read about the autumn evening is that it's great, you know, first and halfway through the bowl, but then once you get to like that mid third, it's like, that doesn't taste as good as it could have tasted like all the way through it. Now, whereas like the Colt Blow Red Moon, unless you have to stir it because you let it go out or whatever the case is, if you smoke it evenly all the way through to the bottom, it's going to taste absolutely fantastic all the way through it. Like, not even joking. If you have to do it midway through, it loses just a little bit of it, but not as much. It's just a little bit lighter of a cherry chocolate taste with tobacco. If you have to do it at the end, it just becomes pure, like that, like almost like a resinous taste. And I think it's because all the leaves at that point are all coated with all that shit at the end, versus having been burnt slowly enough to actually, you know, milk that extraction out of it. So that way you can actually like pull the moisture. Because what I do with that, especially with the church wort, is I'll pull enough moisture towards the bottom of this guy, but pull it out, blow it into the paper towel, and then, you know, swab out the stem on the church warden, but then also a little bit in the shank there. And once we put it back on and start, you know, pulling again, it's perfectly dry, clean, and, you know, it tastes amazing. And then once you start to get to that point where you're like, okay, now I need to do it again, you're about halfway through the bowl at that point, or done. Like just slow, methodical puffs like that. Like, it had been how long since I had taken a hit, and you would think that it went out. It's still going. You know, that's how, if you pack it just right, the pipe will maintain its bowl, so long as you keep a good cadence with it, you know. So, and you can still talk for a little bit in between each hit, you know. Give it a little pack now. Yeah, quite literally, it's just, you know, methodical smoking is really what it takes. Because if you smoke too fast, then yeah, you're just getting ash. You're just gonna smell burnt tobacco. Everybody around you is not gonna enjoy it as much. So, and the point to it as well is to make it as enjoyable for yourself as it is well, enjoyable for everybody else as you are making it for yourself. Because that way, when they smell, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that smells great." You know, they're not gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, would you just stop doing that thing around us because it smells like shit?" You know. So there's a big difference there. So, yeah, forgot about that peptide that I have here. Have some extra peptide that I need to use. God knows what the fuck is that in the back of my chair? I forgot about that. Okay. The Daedalian keys, yeah, these are kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, those are a pain in the ass to find. Yeah, be with Deke. And then we get the next trial of spells. And Serona is the one I do not like. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, that's the fucking. Yeah, she's the one that works at Three Broomsticks. It's the fucking the weird trans one. Like, why you gotta put that in a fucking video game, dude? No, it is just getting really just ashy at the end of that. So I think at the end of the bowl, no matter what, it just gets really ashy towards that bottom third, which is kind of sad that you kind of have to waste a little bit there. Again, there's been some subtle things that make it drop down from that number 1 spot, like I said, to number 2. In comparison to the Colt Blood Red Moon. Colt Blood Red Moon was still number 1 for me now. You know, for good reasons, I will definitely say, for good reasons. You know, and I think a big portion of that has to do with just how fucking well it's made, that you can smoke it all the way down to the bottom. Like, I'm still getting, like, after effects, I'm getting the maple vanilla taste, but initially, it's, like, very ashy, and just, I don't like that. And it's not pulling out much moisture either. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, see, there's perfectly unburnt tobacco right down there. Let's see how this ends up tasting. Because normally this ends up tasting like complete trash afterwards. So let's see here. Because there's like literally brown tobacco, not black tobacco from it being like burnt. Like, there's brown fucking tobacco that has not even touched heat. Yeah. It's mildly okay. Yeah, okay, so again, it's not initial in the taste, it's kind of Afterwards, I'm still tasting the maple fairly well. I thought for some reason that I saw a studio, they not YouTube music. So, getting rid of a bunch of that heavier ash and burnt pieces that we're just not wanting to probably burgers are a little too moist. It is tasting a lot better with a little palate cleanser. That's one nice thing about the Coke is that it does help palate cleanse a little bit better than the Dr. Pepper does. Dr. Pepper adds a nice flavor with like the Colt Blood Red Moon or the Autumn Evening because it's got both like a cherry with the Colt, but the vanilla with the Autumn Evening. So it's got a nice balance between those guys. It does do well with the pairing, but okay, that's out. Getting a whistle too on my pipe. The bottom part of the bowl, it can taste okay, but it's still not the greatest. Not compared to where you start, like where it's up here at the start, and then it gets just kind of like down here at the end. It's like, ugh. It could be worse, it could be down here, but it's like it still goes from all the way up here though. And, so I see why a lot of people just really do not smoke that bottom third. But it's like, are you really willing to waste that much tobacco though? I mean, that's I don't know, that's a little too much tobacco to waste. I think what I might try next time is just take a tiny bit of fresh, pinch and just get a little pinch, add on top of it, and then hit that and let that burn down with it. Especially if it's been sitting for a little bit, just to help kind of melt that in a little bit better. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that do add to an old bowl, and then there's people who don't add to an old bowl, and it's kind of weird because it's one of those things where some people consider it a rule, and some people are like, I don't care about that. Like if I got the same tobacco in there, and I know I only got a little bit in there, but I want to like finish it, and it's just not gonna finish really well. I'll throw in some fresh, mix it, take a hit, and it'll let it roast all the way through, and it'll burn better that second bowl. But you have to have that same tobacco. It can't be a different one. It has to be the same one, and you mix it in better, and boom, it'll be perfectly burn. And that's what I've heard from a lot of old codgers that have smoked, right? And I do tend to like listen to the old codgers a little bit more because like that's what they do best, is smoking some tobacco. So and it does look like this was extracting some heavy amounts of moisture. That or it's stuck on the stem. So it did just blow out a good bit of moisture. So okay. Still getting a good bit off the sides right there, though. And there we go. Stem is swapped out. Yeah, nope. All the moisture's right here in the top of the shank. It's funny too because if you actually look at the older pieces of paper things for the Peterson, it tells you to use a piece of paper or like paper towel in a sense to swab out the shank, and I'm like, huh. And I guess the bigger reason for it is that you just kind of get it all at once like that and then pull it out. So which I will note that you are pulling out way more moisture that way too. So Like that. And then I don't know where the other. Oh my gosh, the other pipe tool's right there. Oh well. I already got this in my hand, so I'm just gonna use this. It's a clay tool. All right. Actually, I'm gonna let these sit off to the side separately to dry and air out. Go. And then go back into this now. Okay, that's where I gotta go. Damn. Alright. I totally don't think you could, what you call it, break that wall there for like a secret or something, you know what I mean, Chad? So that's why I was like, oh, hey, look at that.
A human's word is worthless. This prisoner owes us the metal we were promised. We're close to a breakthrough. I can feel it.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these bad boys. Okay. Oh, I gotta use the bathroom real quick, chat. I shall be right back. So I just saw that it's re-getting into Kick again. I don't know why that is. It seems to be tied to the capture card. Every time the capture card drops, so does the rest of it.
Yeah, just told me kick your up. Rumble your up.
YouTube shows me it still is live. Kick, let's see here. Are we actually live on Kick? It looks like it. Roll Studio. Alright, that looks like we're fine there too. Okay. So it looks like everything is back to fine. It just has to be refreshed, maybe on some people's pages. The capture card has stopped. This is the only big reason why I don't know if Elgato would work better for this or if there would be a way to do NVIDIA. How's it going, Dark? Good to see you over on YouTube, brother. Good to see you. Just trying to figure out what's going on here with the capture card. Can't really see the damn thing now as it is. I can't tell if the light's on or not now. Because the blue light is on it. Like it's wow, and I'm moving it. All of a sudden, it is audio track error. All right, I'm gonna test the theory out real quick. I wonder if it's actually the little cord that I have plugged into it. It is one of those things where it's using a really old antiquated format, which is one of the reasons why I think a newer capture card would work better, as long as it would be using like USB-C. Even fuck if it was using regular USB. At this point, they're all using like this one is using what is it, micro or mini? Not the one for the PS3 controllers, but the it was like the one right after that one. I want to say it's mini USB because I want to say micro USB is this more squared looking one that was for like the PS3 days for the controllers. So wherever whatever the one that was after that one, that's what's plugging into the back of the or in the front of the capture card, I should say. But it just, for whatever reason, that connection has never been a stable connection for me. I've always had issues with it, and especially more so lately after the whole coffee incident. So I don't know, because like the laptop is still running just fine. Like the game is running super well actually on the laptop. I'm actually impressed with how well it's been running, but it's definitely not wanting to run with the capture card right now. Well, through the capture card, I should say. So, I'll fix my fucking hair here. Okay, let's try to fix this one more time, Chew Chat. So, give me 1 second here, Dark. I'll be right back, fam. And everybody else that's chilling and lurking and vibing with us tonight. Nice, nice. Gonna play some more Project Zomboid. Nice. Are you gonna stream it before you go to work, or are you just gonna play some Project Zomboid? Oh my goodness. Can't get my stickers. Stop falling down. Ah! Just want things to cooperate. Alright, unplug that cord. Plug in this one now. Okay, this one's a little bit shorter though, so. Okay. I work at 6 p.m. today, so I got 4 hours left to play. Oh shit, nice. You got some time. You got some time. Yeah, it's not like a super a bunch of time, but it's not bad. Okay, now the big question is, okay. You can see the blue light. It's on it. It's plugged in. Everything is going. So, bro, this is one of the stressful things of this. Like, I'm not even joking. Give me. Yes, I love you, boo. Yes, stop trying to sit my chair, though. I'm gonna sit back down in just a moment. I'm just trying to get my damn shit to fix. Okay? 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 Okay, child. Calm down. Calm your shit. There's literally nothing obstructing the cords. Nothing like that whatsoever. Okay. Come on. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know if it's the cord or not now. It might be the capture card, dude. Oh, okay. Well, that's one thing. Okay, that might be one of the reasons why it's doing that with the HDMI cord right now, because those two are touching. And it's being a sensitive little bitch. Alright, let's see here. No, it's not the PC. It's the live media AverMedia capture card. I don't know why I said live media. Ugh. It's the way it comes through. It says live gamer mini. But it's that GC311 model. That's the one I have. And dude, this model fucking usually works just fine. But today it wants to be a little fucking twat sucking toad. Can we please stop fucking up my game? Whoop. Almost walked off the fucking ledge. So I can't get the game to show up on my fucking screen here because for whatever reason, because it's using a really old school cord. So what is here? So let me grab the older one here. So this is the cord that was plugged in, right? I don't know if maybe I need to replug it back in or what, but this is the type of cord. You see what I mean now? That's the type of USB cord that it is. So it's legitimately a specific type of cord that is not very common nowadays. So legitimately, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, what if it would have been just USB-C? Fucking fine. No, we couldn't have that. Now could we, chat? No, mine has to be an older fucking model before USB-C was invented. So not even joking. And I really like my AverMedia cards. I prefer them over like Elgato. But dude, this shit here is becoming such a nuisance, and it's only ever on the AverMedia card. Like I'm not even joking. Like no gameplay, but I think it was showing right there, right? Yeah, okay. So see right there, that's the game. No, but look at this. Look how smooth that is. My gameplay is so smooth. It's almost like I need to put the camera facing it. You know what I mean? So we can do the old school days of capturing a captured gameplay. Oh my gosh, I remember they had to do a Rooster Teeth video like that at one point because Michael couldn't get his capture card to work, so he literally just took the fucking camera that was for himself and just faced it towards the TV and captured it that way. Oh, it was great. It works, man. It works. It may not be the most professional, but it works. So I might need to plug this one back in because the other cord just doesn't seem to want to work. I know I have like some of these cords I haven't gone through again, and I needed to be like, all right, which one of these works again, and which one I need to toss. Exactly, man. And not even just handheld consoles, but even like ones you couldn't find like N64s, Super Nintendos, all those things like that, where you couldn't find the adapters for those things for like a TV that would capture it. So you're like, hold on, guys, let me just face this cam, or you do the two camera angle where you get a webcam for yourself, and then you get a webcam to face towards the TV, and then you're like, okay, guys, now we can be really professional. Now we can still have our little camera slot here, and still have the game here. Oh, it still looks so ghetto though. It looks so ghetto. It's fun though. It's a fun way to remember how we used to have the screen capture back in the day, especially before live streams and everything like that were really a prominent thing like they are nowadays. Back in the early 2000s, nobody was really like, yes, live streams, that's going to be a thing in the future. I think you told somebody like 2002, hey man, live streaming is going to be a thing in the future. You should invest in it. They're going to be like, you're a fucking idiot. And then like literally when it happens, they're going to be like, holy shit, he was right. I wonder if anybody ever had a moment like that with somebody where somebody came to them and told them, "Hey, you need to invest in this," and they were like, "Nah," and then they were like, "Dude, that fucking dude had it totally figured out before it all happened." So yeah, plug this guy again. Plug this cord in again. So there's a new adapter. The only downside to it is it's where the USB ports are because it's not on the other side where I wish they would have had it at. It faces me. So I always have to kind of like lean over and be like, okay, man, my dumbass doesn't remember exactly where the ports are. So instead of just doing like the fucking figuring this thing out, I'm like, let's just make my life easier. You see, with this blue one, I can actually plug it so it goes out of the way. And I don't want to say this cord doesn't work, but it just doesn't work for that. But it does work for some things. So I might be able to use that for like a charge cord for like a controller or something like that. So throw that right there because I do got a bag of cords I need to put that into. But I also need to go through that bag of cords because there's a fuckload in there. Okay, here we go. Plugging this bad boy back in. And then I'm going to try to... Okay, this is the other thing too. That's in the way. A clean spot like that. Okay. Okay. So here's the funny thing though. That blue light's not even coming on this time. It was on for a second and then it went off. Okay, I actually had to like fucking force that some bitch in there. Man, back in the middle school, when I first saw some Minecraft stream, I was like, man, streaming is going to be big. It was like 2010. Dude, I mean, I swear, I think there were some people like yourself there that were smart enough to see that shit ahead of time. I was too stupid to see that shit, and I thought it wasn't going to be that big. And it wasn't so much that I didn't think it was really going to be a big thing, but I just didn't think it was going to take off with gaming. I thought like we were going to see game shows and like all this other type of media like that kind of start trying to, gravitate towards that. And in some ways, like, yeah, Late Show and all that kind of does things with YouTube where they re-upload everything, but it's like nobody has really decided to be like, let's just bypass fucking basic cable and go right to the source. Other than podcasters. Podcasters did that. And you had a lot of people who broke away from like big time media companies like that were like, dude, let's just do it ourselves. Like, let's do all of our own like, TV hosting and broadcasting and stuff like that. We'll make our own show and it'll be 20 times better than what we were producing on like, access cable or whatever the case is. Hey, what's up, Mini Fox? Yeah, dude, Justin TV. Okay, so when Justin TV came out, I remember I made an account, and I remember being like, "This feels like it'll catch on," but I never thought like in the way that it was going to. Right? I thought we were gonna see with Justin TV because like I saw game streams taking like a big huge point on it with like Ninja, Tim and stuff like that in the early days, but I also remember there were some guys that were doing like commentating for game or for football games and stuff like that. So I thought actually like the NFL and all that would have like got ties in or tie-ins with that shit early on, and instead we got sport bettings. That was about it. You know what I mean? DraftKings was about the biggest thing really there. I mean, you had in the early days, but then once it actually got bought out, it was like, yeah, you guys got to stop that. We can't have that on our fucking Amazon platform anymore. It was like, oh, okay. It's like, well, I guess we lost that whole avenue of content. And it is kind of weird because they had so many chances to make way better content. I feel like. Then again, that was on your basic cable access or access cable. It's just like I think the downside of not capitalizing on that more by like not even just Amazon, but like by every big company when it first came, because I know they saw streaming kind of like I think the way I saw it, which was this isn't going to make money. It's going to be popular, but it's going to be popular with kids. And then it became popular with adults, and that was when I was like, oh shit, because that's when I came back into it and really started trying to stream. and that was like I remember right when Twitch got bought out. A couple years, I'd say after that, I finally got an actual device to do so. Because for the longest time, I didn't understand why the 360 couldn't just stream right to Twitch. So I was trying to do that through from a 360, and then once I went from 360 to PS4, that's when I started actually being able to go live. Versus just doing re-uploads and stuff like that to like YouTube and shit, or uploads to YouTube, um, which was kind of how like, I first started off. Then I got into it with Twitch, but I would still follow people on Twitch and stuff like that. And I was still trying to build up with people on Twitch. Um, it just was really fucking hard to try to do the streams when I didn't have the ability to do it. And then once I got the ability to do it, it was like, oh, this is how we do this. Okay. And then just learning every day, different things, camera, microphone, chatting, having the chat open at the same time while you're streaming, all these different things so that you could be a better content creator, because you're just like, how the fuck do these people do it? And I feel like at that time, nobody really did a good enough job to explain it. There were some people who did tutorial videos, and then some people who would explain it. But then most of it was kind of like, no, 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 no. I know I need to keep this locked and key, because if I don't and everybody else finds out, then I got to share that wealth with everybody else. And I noticed that's what a lot of people did back in the early days. They're like, I ain't telling you shit. I'm making all that bread and you can fuck off. That's what they were doing. You're like, no, but I just want to make a little bread. Just a little bread, man. That's all I want to do. Why do I feel like I got fucking something all over the side of my shirt? It keeps making my arm itch. Feels like I got like hair from when I cut my hair the last time, but the shirt wasn't on the hangers by like the shower when I was cutting my hair last. So I'm like, what the fuck? A little confused there. But yeah, no, honestly, I think people that were wiser, like yourself, there, Dark, they were like, oh yeah, man, this shit's gonna blow up. Like you guys were a lot smarter than like I thought. I thought it was gonna be popular, like I said, amongst like kids, right? Especially because I was watching way too much uh, Fortnite streams back in those days, and PUBG streams, and H1N1 streams, and I was just like, man, I just see a lot of like young kids, 13-year-olds, something like that, to be the popular ones on it. And to a degree, I was correct on that. But then when I saw that, like, a lot of people, like World of Warcraft, that's where you saw more of the adults. I was like, whoa, okay. I'm like, okay, now I see more adults playing this, or using this feature. Yeah, no, I kind of had the vibes of wanting to play it again. There were Fox. I remember people streaming porn and hentai games on Just TV. Yes, there was a lot of that. 100%, and you're not wrong, and that's true. That was like exactly how that was like the only way most people were making money via gaming back in those days. Was like, oh, you want to make money gaming? Okay, well you gotta be doing esports, and you're like, but I'm not like that good. You know what I mean? Like you have to be so good at games that you had to be picked up by like some type of team. You had to move to some areas, like especially here in the United States. Like a lot of the states around here, especially in the early days, they didn't have things to support a lot of like stuff like that for esports because they didn't believe in it. So you'd have to move to like California, which is really the only state that had it. Um, and kind of California, man, God, it sucks. I hate the state. I hate most of the cities in it. And I think it's just because like most of the cities there just suck, man. Like nobody likes living there, you know. Oh yeah, the like G4, like when G4 was a thing, you could watch the esports tournaments and local like or regular games that they would have for the throughout the weeks and stuff like that, or throughout the year, I should say. And then of course you had after that they'd have like the whole like commentator thing afterwards talking about the highlights and stuff like that, as if it was like a sports thing, and I feel like that's what really helped pave the way for the true like esports commentators to really shine back in those days, because like it was so much different, man. Do that and what do we call it, Dota. A lot of what was it, I think, wasn't it Dota 2 at that point, because I want to say Dota 2 finally came out that it was specifically for the esports era. because they were like, look, yeah, we can't do Dota 1. That's, that's not ours. So we got to find a way to do this so we can still make, a tournament out of this, because everybody wanted the tournaments for Dota. And they're like, okay, we got to make Dota 2 then. And then boom, we got the custom maps and all that stuff like that were specific to Dota. Well, Dota 2, I should say, versus it being like the Warcraft 3 maps we were just using with custom map and game rules and stuff. Which, dude, again, the guy who made that was such a genius, and the fact that him and Valve bought the rights to all that shit and totally, totally usurped Blizzard like that, dude. I mean, Blizzard, you were sleeping at the wheel thinking that somebody as small as Steam wasn't gonna bulldoze you. Fucking Gabe is like, nah, dude, I see dollar signs, and I see a lot of dollar signs. And he was like, he was smart, you know. That's like with Riot doing that with League. They copied and pasted that. I mean, which blows my mind. It took Blizzard so long to give us Heroes of the Storm, and then they still couldn't give us a proper one when everything was built off of their original maps, their game. They still couldn't do it right. Like, and I loved Heroes of the Storm, but like it wasn't enough to catch everybody else's eyes, I guess. And I loved that the game threw shade at League, because it's like, oh yeah, you don't have to go back and forth to the base to buy items. And it's like, just saying, and everybody loaded up as a whole team versus it just being one man carrying the whole thing. I remember the StarCraft ones, yes, for the Korean ones. I've never heard of the other ones, but over here, our esports were Halo. What was it? Halo, StarCraft, and then Dota. Those were the three that we had here. So, and Halo, man, like Halo pretty much built our esports scene in America, because like I really do feel like like the way for us to have carved out our own niche was like, we got to do something that's going to be different than everybody else's. We also got to have the game that's going to be our specific game, you know what I mean, like our American game and whatnot. And that was like, I feel like when they were like, okay, we're gonna go with Halo, and that's gonna be the Americans esports thing. And then they're like, yeah, we'll dabble with StarCraft, but we'll never be as good as the Koreans and all that stuff. And that was just always something I remember hearing from like the early days of like esports guys that had to go to like do RTSs and stuff like that. They were like, yeah, we'll never be as good as like fucking the Koreans. And if I'm not mistaken, Command and Conquer was another one that was in the esports titles. Not as much, but it was there a lot, like a lot more than like, let's say, fucking you would see something like, Dota or League or anything like that at that time. But like, I want to say it was Command and Conquer, Red Alert 2, and I want to say Tiberian Sun. Like, those were the only two that I remember, because those guys, I remember them doing some, especially here locally, Westwood would have their own like little tournaments that they would do in Colorado, Washington, Montana, Wisconsin, and then there was one I want to say in Florida that they would do, and it was because those areas had like a huge. Wisconsin has a huge area of gaming. It's just like, what the fuck? That's just such a farming state. You just don't think of it like that. But there's a lot of farmers out there that love video games, I guess. A lot of farmers, man. It's crazy. Especially games like that are methodical, where you gotta sit and build like and be actually like intelligent. I do feel like I feel like that's why like at the end of the day like the proof of like somebody's like intelligence can really come through like an RTS game, like I making the joke like that. I know, like, for instance, somebody like yourself is smarter than myself, and then we played against each other in StarCraft 2, and and you completely rushed me with it was either StarCraft 2 or StarCraft 1, I can't remember which one, but I know you ended up rushing me with I think it was like Dark Templars or something like that, and I was just playing as if I'm like fucking playing regularly, and I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, this is playing against a human being who actually will do tactics and stuff like that. And that was a whole different ball game, and even still, when I started trying to play that level, it's like I still can't be that micromanagement level of like, okay, I gotta be looking at this, and this, constantly doing all these things. I could kind of get it down with some of the hotkeys, but even still, I feel like there's a certain level of like of being able to look at things more like, you know, 3 4 steps ahead, whereas I may be only able to look at it maybe 1 or 2 steps ahead. It's like you got to be able to give it even more, because then if you are only looking 1 2 steps ahead, you're still only short-sighted. When you're looking 3 4 steps ahead, you're able to see, okay, once I do this part, this is going to lead to this, and then I'll have this build up, then I can do that. Whereas I'm like, okay, if I do this and I do that, you know, it's like I'm so fucking like getting like the baby steps going on, and you know, you playing against anybody who has that type of ability to actually just start rushing like that, it's like it instantly makes my brain start going on like this like weird defensive thing where it's just like, oh shit, I don't know what to do, and it starts like freezing up, and it's like, send units this way, send them that way, and I start trying to just throw Hail Marys out, and I'm not learning from anything because I'm just like adrenaline pumping, just being like, save myself, save the base, save the base, save the base. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes I'll have enough of like a teammate, you know, help build up enough like defense that it's like, okay, I'll focus on the offense, you focus on the defense, and they're like, got you. Well, yeah, that, and also like that's kind of, I feel like, why we had it over here with like Halo, like being like that. Halo had what, Mountain Dew. You had pizza companies at the time, like early like local pizza companies would always try to do like Halo tournaments and stuff like that. Um, because I remember like there'd be so many of them around here where they'd be like, oh hey, we'll have like Halo 3 tournaments or Halo 2 tournaments, you know, and you know you play X amount of, you know, fucking hours at this pizza place, and then you're gonna fucking, you know, beat, you know, XYZ team, and whoever team wins, you get like a couple $100 and maybe like a year's worth of pizza, whatever the case is they would do for a thing like that, or they'd give away like an Xbox and a copy of Halo. But it's like, why would you do that to people who obviously already have an Xbox and probably a copy of Halo, unless they're gonna be cool and give it away to somebody else? You know what I mean? Like that would be one thing. But that was always a dumb thing that I would see people that already had shit like that go into like competition. Like I would go to like the Hastings competitions for the Halo ones, so you could buy or win an Xbox and things like that. It's like, oh cool, and then never do that. Those players were paid, not just free pizza. I mean, well, uh, we would have at least our competitions like that. Like if you're playing with them for hours, stuff like that, it was usually like you had to have local groups here, and there wasn't really a lot of ways to pay people. Um, like if I'm not mistaken, especially here in America, like a lot of people had to just do it for the love of gaming and love for the sport, because very little places paid them locally, I would say, unless you went to like a state competition or you went to like one of the actual like esports competitions. There wasn't anything that was really like putting money into it, not unless you were going to like arcade. Now that was where like our biggest thing started to pick up for us in America, that I think helped drive our esports thing in the early days was arcade games, because you had a lot of people that had local arcade tournaments, and that shit is what kept going and going and going. And so you had a lot of people that would do like Street Fighter style tournaments, with like, you know, either Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, or Soul Calibur at local arcades. And so they would put these teams that would just kind of rove around the country, and would just play at all these places. Those things would definitely pay out. They would definitely pay out. They were like $1,000, sometimes $500 on the low end, but and that would be like per player and shit like that. But most of the time, it'd be like $1,000 per player or $10,000 for the whole team, whatever the case is. And the team would only be like 3 or 4 people. And that was like the small groups too, because I remember they would also do Super Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers Melee. Um, I'm sure they probably did Brawl, but I just remember catching up to like the Melee ones, or keeping up with the Melee ones and stuff like that. I know, dude. Trust me, I know, man. Especially like the type of game consoles we had back in those days, dude. Like Sega Dreamcast, you know, fucking N64, you know, Genesis, PS1, PS2, fucking, you know, GameCube. Not to mention all the Game Boys that we had at that time. You know, like sure you could argue that like the DS has some really great graphics and the really cool abilities, but man, like some of the classics that were on, you know, on the original like advanced and color and everything like that, like the Game Boy Color, that was the coolest idea. Like you went from being like all right, here's our green or black and white kind of pixelish thing that we got going on here. Here's color. Here's the first time you're gonna see a game with actual color in it. You're like, whoa, that's cool. I didn't know Nintendo could do this in a handheld, you know. And then it had the back end built-in light too. Those were special edition ones. Then you had the ones that were see-through. Those were special edition ones, you know. And now to think that people just make those like kind of bodies from them so cheaply, you're like, man, it still just isn't. It's still not as good as the original built from Nintendo. You know, see-through green, blue, and red. You know, even I think there was a clear one as well too. I think maybe purple. I know specifically there was definitely the green, just like they had it for the controllers too in the old days. You know, even like the consoles themselves that were see through, those were dope as fuck. You know, like I remember like the original Xbox when they were doing that too. That was pretty fucking cool. You know, like old days of original Halo, playing that and realizing that that was legitimately going to like. I remember when I first played it too. I was like, dude, this game is going to revolutionize FPS games in a way that I didn't really care for it, like, you know, because I wasn't that big into the Halo scene at the time, and because I was I was a Sony boy. I was in the game console wars. I was in that like fuck, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, blah 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 blah, and I was also mad because, you know, technically Nintendo and PlayStation were originally supposed to get one. Game Boy is a Rock War veteran. Remember that, dude? I you know, you know, I would actually argue it's more like the Vietnam one. It's more like a Vietnam veteran. Like Game Boy would be a Vietnam. Advance is the Iraq War. Like that shit literally was like what carried so many kids during those eras, man. Like I remember having a Game Boy Advance and playing Dragon Ball on my Game Boy Advance. Man, that shit was so much fun. I can't remember what it was called, dude. It was Dragon Ball Z something. It was like it was the first few episodes of Dragon Ball Z where the end of the game was literally right when Frieza shows up, and I was so mad because I only beat the game one time. It took me forever to beat the fucking game as a kid. Got to the end of it, and it was all like Frieza shows up, and you're like, "Oh, it's gonna be this epic showdown," and it was like credits. I was like, "You son of a bitch!" Like I was so mad. I also had a Star Wars Attack of the Clones. That was kind of interesting to play a Star Wars game on a Game Boy like that. Um, Oddly enough, I did not have a Pokemon game because my stepdad was like, "I'm not buying you that shit," and I was like, "Why not?" He knew the addictive power of Pokemon, and he was like, "You will not get that because it's too addictive." He was like, "That shit's like crack to children. You're not getting that." I was like, "Come on, man. I just need one cartridge, bro. Just one cartridge." You already sound like a crackhead. What are you doing like that? I just need one cartridge, man. Just one cartridge will get me through this. I promise. Like, I think he hated it when the guy who used to be one of my best friends. Sadly enough, we're not friends anymore because he chose to do some stupid shit in his life. But he at the time when we were friends, he wasn't wrong. No, he wasn't. He wasn't because when the guy that used to be my best friend, he fucking GameCube came out. I got my own GameCube, and I was like, "Bro, I just need to borrow, you know, the game." And he's like, "Do you have a memory card?" I'm like, "Fuck, I didn't buy that yet." No, but let me just borrow Pokemon Coliseum. He was like, "Okay, well, just remember you can't save, so you gotta let the thing stay on." So I had strict rules in my room. Like, you couldn't fucking turn off the power or anything like that. Like, couldn't do anything like that because I didn't have a memory card. It took me a couple of weeks to earn the money for it because I was doing that from selling newspapers. So it was taking me a little while because we were just getting shitty sales that fucking year. And bam, man. So I started actually getting into gaming at Wii era. Dude, I won't lie though. Wii though still has some fucking great games, dude. Like, and not only that, you could play so many of your GameCube games on the Wii. Like, that was great. And you could plug it in the controller and play them like that. That was still fun. Like, because I would play a lot of my GameCube games on the Wii. And then the Wii, dude, I ain't gonna lie, dude. So many hours spent into Wii bowling. Like, how basic of a game could you make? And most of us, I'm sure, spent hours on the Wii Sports Disc. You were the boxing. See, I hated the boxing one because I swear to God, like I always wanted to move around with the boxing, and if you did, it would always fuck up the sensor because then it was like, no, you gotta stay in place and do it bob and weave and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it was good exercise, dude. Especially like the Wii Fit thing. Like I actually got really good at doing planks, where it's holding myself up like just by my arms like that. Um, doing actual like push-ups, I learned how to do better that way. It actually like did the whole like position your body this way, and it was like, oh shit, okay. Sit-ups, I was doing better that way. um and then also doing yoga. I had never really did yoga in my life, and then that was the first time doing yoga, and I really learned how to do it more through doing it through. And it was like, this is how this was meant to be done. Like, you know what I mean? Like how you said, it's good exercise indoors. It was like that was what it was meant to do. It's like, hey, don't just be, a lazy bum at home. Like, get up and do something. And I think that's what makes me like why I like getting up and playing video games a lot of times. Like I stand up and I'll play video games because I got used to playing a Wii standing up for so long. Well,
Revelio.
Be used for better things than this so-called newsreel.
I want to see how many of these guys I can get the drop on.
A boiler door. How to open it?
Fuck, he fell down.
Revelio.
Okay, they're not up there. Oh shit.
Is that the best you can do? I don't think you know who you're dealing with. Why can't I hit you? You won't get away with that. I won't rest.
Why did I do that? Doink. Alright, we got him in the head. I'm still getting used to the fucking controls on this. I have not played in so long, chat, so I am definitely rusty as fuck on this. Now I stand up during gaming only because I want to live another year or more to see more Zelda game. My goodness, brother, goodness.
Revelio. Instantly.
Oh, you know. Ah, yeah. Hey, they keep you from giving up. You know what? I mean, you're not wrong, bro. But I mean, at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie though. I do like to like just stay a little bit more active too. Like, I do wish they had more games like that from the Wii era. You know what I mean? Like the Wii Sports type things. I feel like that kind of style of gaming just it got lost. And I think people don't understand how much fun that shit really was too, man. Like, I mean, obviously, I know I ain't gotta tell you about it, but fucking other people, they just don't get it, dude. They just don't get how good it was to actually be able to say you were playing a game while just running around your living room like that. Like VR is probably the closest we get back to it now. You know, but VR is so expensive. It's not like that, you know, in the sense of like how it was for us back then. You know, it's like back then you didn't have to fucking spend a bunch of money. Okay, I wasn't trying to blow that off or how to like heat it up. I heat it up apparently. Yeah, dude, honestly, like, that's not a bad idea. It's one of the main reasons why I'm actually, like, still considering doing a console at some point, like a PlayStation, the PS5 and stuff, just because I know some people, like, will be like, oh, but it's not as good as, like, you know, PC VR. It's like, yeah, sure, but I ain't got that type of money constantly, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta be, somewhat feasible with what I can do here. You know, so I was looking at that, and I was like, you know what, this would probably be the best way for me to get away with still being able to do VR. Damn it. Wait, did it say do the Merlin's trials? The Merlin trial challenges the creature gear slide. Oh, holy shit, that's what those do for you. Okay, I've been wondering what the hell those things do for you. Wow, and I got another pair of glasses again. Damn it. That's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. That's called karma. So I don't think I did down here. Oh, on this way. $58 gold. This was... Okay, yeah, this was the other way to get to it. Okay, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Also, what video game would you do for VR? Dark? Fox, same question to you. What game would you do for VR if you had a choice to do for VR headset? And you could play a VR game. What would be your first choice? I think for me, my first choice would be, I think it'd either have to be like, I honestly have to either Skyrim VR or like I was thinking that too. Like the only summers I've heard that Doom VR is not that good, but I'm wondering what would be a good shooting VR. Like, does Dead Space have a VR? That would be fucking cool if Dead Space has VR. Wait, doesn't Resident Evil 4 have VR? I want to say I thought Resident Evil 4 had VR now with the remake. I could be wrong though. No Man's Sky has VR. Holy shit, that would be fucking insane. Piloting a ship and everything like that, you're just like, wah! Blade and Sorcery. Oh yeah, that game. Okay, yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. You actually like swing, throw spells at somebody like that. That would be dope. Okay, that would be super dope. That's what I mean. I would love to have things like that, man. Just swing and tab around, dude. Yeah. Stab around. Yeah, no, I knew what you meant. When you said tab around, I was like, I think you mean stab. In my head, I was like, that's what I was thinking in my head. Got some mushrooms over here. Check out these mushies. Got about 4 of these guys here. Shit. Nice, I got 100 goblins. Alright, there we go.
Revelio.
Yeah, okay, so we gotta talk to him through the cell door. We're gonna clear out everything else first here, chat. Okay.
Take them all. Run the other way when they see you tuners do. Every time.
Oh. Alright, let's go talk to Roland first then. Because I don't know how this will end up out like that, chat.
Revelio.
I did not mean to waste one of my mandrakes like that. Son of a bitch.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
I need to find Mr. Oakes' wand. Where could it be?
So I gotta kill all those assholes anyways. And okay. Okay. I thought maybe he was gonna help me do that. Dude.
Please find it. It may be behind the boiler door.
Cheers, everybody. Okay. My dab rig was slowly dying here. Alright. Bro, bro. Bro, honestly, too, also speaking of wands, I would literally have the pipe be the wand. That'd be the funniest fucking thing ever. I got church warden wand. That would be dope. I could see that being somebody. Like kind of like how like the drunken brewmaster type of deals, and from Stuff like that. Guess I'll be doing it with the wand there.
One way or another, we'll get what we're owed.
That is fucking hilarious that we broke in like that. Ow.
Does Hogwarts teach you no? Arrest them.
Too late for you to learn the error of your ways.
For fuck's sake. We're all full. Inventory. Gear. Okay.
This must be Mr. Oakes' wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
Okay.
Please, pass me my wand. I can't get out of this damn cell without it. It's my last hope. Please. did it!
Bro, why does it look like you don't have lenses in those glasses?
Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oaks. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
Both.
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasting goblins stole every knut on me. All I can say is thank you. Truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ramrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709,
Oh my goodness.
Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal
Dude.
dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
I mean, you know, he kind of has a point.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex. My memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oaks. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, I heard. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analysing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oaks. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you, her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm
Amen
anxious
to that.
see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oaks was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him.
Nope. Leveled up. Alright, just gonna get out of here. There we go. Now we go back to the room requirement and what do you call it? Identify a bunch of items real quick. Oh, there are secret rooms. There we go. Look, I just need to find the fucking room for the requirement. Is that the wind?
Huh?
Was that the wind? No. Of course, it's windy as shit out. Oh shit, okay. Gloves. Boom.